just flow through with that.
So you can also reach us at our website at womenempoweredmn.com.
Women Empowered is for every single woman. We strive to create a sisterhood. We want to create a safe space. We want to encourage and empower one another. We just want to be the sisters that you never had. So it doesn't matter your color, it doesn't matter your culture, your race. We are Women Empowered for all women.
What services do we offer? We offer quarterly events. We even have some exciting things that we haven't even put out in the works for y'all. So we got a lot to bring, a lot.
Much more.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live Out Loud Wednesdays. Tonight's topic, we are going to go ahead and we're going to talk about empowering women. Ladies, we got this. Eb, do you kind of want to go into detail of what that is?
Sure. So we just kind of want to help women understand that no matter how hard it may seem, no matter what it is that you may be going through, no matter what trials and tribulations you're facing, in light of recent events in the world, just everything overall that we face as women, right? Because we go through so many different things, and we just want to shine some light on the topic and just maybe talk about some examples of what some of those things could look like on our end. And feel free to chime in the comments, and we'll watch the comments and we'll do interactive stuff. But really just want to hone in on just knowing that no matter how hard it is, we've got this, because we do. We are empowered. We have that empowerment inside of us. So no matter how hard it seems, how dark the days are, we got this. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight.
I like that. Devin, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah. This topic can kind of go so many different ways, right? Us women, we are always the ones who we're the backbone of the family. We make sure, the kids are good, our spouses are good. Even sometimes our extended families are good. So I think sometimes during the holidays, it might be a tougher time. I think women as a whole right now, in light of, the world events, it's a hard time for us. So I think we all need to stand together in sync and say, it's okay. We got this. At the end of the day, God has the final say with everything. So ladies, don't ever feel discouraged. You do have us if you are needing someone to speak to. We have our weekly online not events, but look, my mind is all over the place. We have our online support, services that we have. We have our individual support services if you do need more of a hands-on individual conversation. But the group as a whole, the Women Empowered Women's Group, I feel like is a very supportive platform. So, in all of our podcasts, if you go back on YouTube and you see all of our recordings and things, we are just letting you know that you are not alone. We have been through real life situations and made it. So never feel like you cannot come out of anything. So I felt like this was a great topic to talk about because, sometimes we don't feel like we got it, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, you can breathe easy and know that, the next day will come and we'll continue on. And you do have support, not just from your immediate circle, but, from Women Empowered as well. So just wanted to add that.
Kind of make us your extended circle.
Absolutely.
I think
What exactly is it that we've got? This thing called life, right?
Called life.
Yeah.
When
they go online and they go into our women's group. I chime in there every now and again, and the women there are amazing on how they support one another. And so I just want to add that you don't always have to have one of us in there in order to speak with us. There's so many different women in there that also are supporting one another. I think a lot of the women in our group just have that naturally in them to uplift and support and empower one another.
What is so what are I'm checking y'all's temperatures. What are y'all going? How y'all doing? How we all doing? We doing all right?
We're doing good. We just recently celebrated Miss Davina's birthday. I feel like that was an amazing time.
It was.
I'm ready for quarter one to start. I feel like 2025 is going to be a phenomenal year for us as women empowered. Uh, I don't know. I feel good. I feel revived and renewed and ready to roll. We got the event this weekend on Saturday, so I can't wait to see all the ladies. And I'm just excited with life right now. I have no complaints.
I can second on that. I can honestly say that I'm in a good place, um, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Um, God got this. He knows what it is that we want. He knows what it is that we need. He's always going to be there to provide. It might not be what it is that we want today, right now, or it might not be immediate, but trusting in the process. That is my new thing is I have to just entrust in the process.
That's amazing. I have up and down days. I had a lot going on the forefront with illnesses and stuff in my family, but um I'm making it. I'm doing all right myself. From a personal standpoint, I guess everything is good. But again, dealing with that, it's always going to be something. I don't care how great everything is. It's always going to be something in our lives that's going to, I don't know, make us feel away or put us in a predicament to where we just aren't always 100% going to be okay. But we still need to know that again, there's support, you know, um, and really honestly, just tell ourselves that we are able to do whatever it is that we need to do. I think you spoke on God and said God is good in that sense of helping us understand that He's always present in the midst of whatever, if it's a storm or whatever it is we're dealing with, God is present. And so, knowing that, I guess for myself, I just know that I'm not worried as much as I probably would have been having not being able to have God in the presence of my life. If I was just focusing on trying to do all this myself, I'd probably be going nuts. So it's kind of where I'm at. I'm in a place where you know fear could overtake my brain right now, but I'm trying my hardest to just maneuver through. And I feel like God has always shown me that He has me. Um, and then the women's support. Yesterday I led a prayer line, and I tell you, like 6 people off that, it was like 12 people on that prayer line, and 6 people on that prayer line jumped in my inbox after the fact because though we are administrators and though we are, the owners and the founders of Women Empowered, we still go through things and we're vulnerable enough to share those things. And so that's what makes, I think, Women Empowered extremely unique is that we have the ability to share our vulnerability with ladies and let them know that we are human. We are not above, being human just because we own this business. We are human. We are women. We have emotions. We have problems. We go through stuff. Hey, it's this thing called life. We need to remember that. That's not just for our audiences or people watching. That is all of us. We are all going through something. And literally, like 6 women jumped in my inbox, like, boop, 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 are you okay? Can I do something for you? And it was just like, whoa, like, the community that we built as a business has completely full circled and come around and become a community for us to even have new friends and new people, who care about us. And it's great, it's beautiful, and I love that. It's very hard for women sometimes to connect with each other, and so I feel that our community provides that, and I feel that we have done an exceptional job over almost 2 years in providing the space for women to know that they can feel loved, they can feel not judged, they can be a part of something great. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
And
I
I
think
love that for you because I know you are having, some down days and good days. And that's, I mean, a given, right? Life be lifing, and the unknown is always scary, right? We
Mhm.
don't know what to expect. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. And I think sometimes, we have to remind ourselves that as long as we keep God first, we'll be good. Whatever comes tomorrow is supposed to come, you know, and we'll deal with it when it comes. Don't worry about what can come, what ifs. I think a lot of times we get hung up on the what ifs. What if this? What if that? I'm guilty of that. I do that a lot. And I'm always told, just relax. It hasn't happened. Just deal with it when it comes. If it comes, because it might not even come, right? This whatever that you're so scared of, it might not even happen. And we're sitting here, nervous and stressing ourselves about something that may not even happen. So I think we have to remind ourselves that whatever does come, we will be ready. We have ample support, and not to worry about anything until it does, and handle it appropriately. So I think anyone who's watching, if you are dealing with something and you feel like there's no out, just know there is an out. It may be hard, but you will get through it. And like I said, any support that we can give to you, let us know. The prayer line is available daily, whether y'all jump in and we're facilitating, or it is member led and you have the other ladies who are there for you. Just know there's no end to the support that you can receive. So we just like to stress that because, we built this community not just for us, but for everyone. As I tried to make sure that was in that intro video, we want y'all to know it's for all ladies. It's not just for African American ladies. It's not just for anybody that we know specifically. Like, this is for any woman who can look at this video, whether you are in Minnesota, whether you are in Atlanta, and whether you are overseas, wherever you are. This community is for you. So just know that we got this. We got you, girl. And let us know how we can help you. And we like to let you know that we're not, perfect. We go through things. We have our down times. We started one way, we might end a different way. We're evolving as a business as well. So if there's ever anything that you see that we do that we can, get pointers on, a topic you want to hear us talk about, anything, it's all trial and error with us. So just let us know that, because we all got this. So we all will help each other. So don't ever feel like if you say something to us like, oh, I did not like that topic y'all talked about last week. It won't hurt our feelings. It'll help us to be better, to know what to talk about and what not to talk about, because we want to make sure that we're talking about things that is, appeasing to everyone, not just any specific person.
So I think a very important question to ask is, how do we empower one another as women? How do we overcome the stigmas and actually empower one another as women?
Keep supporting each other. We have to.
I think it starts with us as individuals being able to properly communicate and advocate for ourselves. Um, if I need support in a certain area, then I need to be able to give you a roadmap of what that support looks like. Because if I'm coming to you and I just want to be able to vent and I don't want to hear your opinion, or for you to be able to try to give me any guidance in that area, but I just want to get it out, I need to be able to be okay with myself to be able to inform you of that. Because a lot of times we just want to vent and we don't know how to tell the other person that that's what it is. And so, in the mix of us venting, us naturally as people want to help and want to be able to give advice and opinions and everything else. And if a person was to be able to come to you in the beginning and say, hey, Ab, hey, Dev, I just want to be able to vent, then you would know not to give your advice and or opinion. But if I don't tell you that, then naturally that's what you're going to do, because you're going to think that I have a problem and it is now for you to help me solve this problem. And so then I have to be able to understand why it is that you're giving your opinion or advice to me, because I didn't properly communicate to you what it was that I needed from you. And so I think that part of that is we all need to step back and we have to learn how to properly communicate with one another.
I agree. And sometimes we get offended by someone saying, "Hey girl, I just want to vent." Don't get offended by that. Sometimes we have to just be able to receive that feedback and say, okay, well, go ahead and vent. I'm sorry for giving feedback, but we have to be comfortable, like Davina said, like be comfortable within yourself to say, I didn't call you for that. I just need to get this out. Please just let me talk. And sometimes it may come off, a wrong way. But in the end, just let them know, like, I'm sorry if I sounded, a certain kind of way. It's really just me needing to get this out. And I don't want to, make you feel like I want to get advice, because that's not what I came for. Like, because I know I feel like that sometimes. Sometimes I just want to talk, and sometimes I solve my own problems by speaking it out loud. I do
Mhm.
that often, and it's like, we worry about so much, especially when you're a woman and if you have kids, or if you don't have kids, or you have a job, and you're just worried about life sometimes, and sometimes you just want to vent, and
Mhm.
that's okay. There are people who will do that, but you got to make sure that you communicate that. You really do.
And you have to know the people that you're dealing with. And so if you don't know the people that you're dealing with and you're just freely just going and you're giving out all of this information about yourself, then you have to be able to be open to the constructive criticism that's coming back. And if you're not open to that, then it's like, were you really prepared to even let that out? Because a lot of us literally need to purge and let out all kinds of different things, not realizing that if I'm standing in it, I might not even know that I'm standing in it. Looks like it, it smells like it, I'm standing in it, don't even recognize it. And now here I'm in my mix of I want to purge and I want to just go ahead and let it all out. And I let it all out, and I don't even know really who you are and how it is that you're going to react or what it is that you're going to say. And now you open your mouth and you start trying to give your opinion or some advice to me, and I don't like it because I wasn't prepared for what it was that you were ready to say to me.
Yeah. A lot of times we don't want to hear that feedback and
Mhm.
somebody's constructive criticism, right? Especially like you said, when we're standing in it, we sometimes don't even know we're in the midst of it. And somebody will say, hey, did you know you're standing in the middle of some shit right now?
Mhm.
And excuse my language, but sometimes that's needed. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people don't realize that they are in the middle of destruction, and they can easily just step right out. But you're so deep into it where you're like, I don't even see left, right. I don't know what's in front of me. And someone's like, girl, just stand up.
Mhm.
I think of that meme where there's like a person who's like got their hand out for help, and they're holding their hand up and they're waiting on somebody to get their hand, and the person's like, just stand up. And when you look down at the picture, they're literally in shallow water. All they have to do is stand up, and you think you're drowning this whole time,
Mhm.
and all you got to do is stand up. You ain't drowning. It's bigger than you think it is. I mean, it's smaller than you think it is. You think it's this big ocean that you cannot stand up in, you're going to drown, and it's like, just stand up.
I think another thing that we all do as humans is when we get to thinking and letting our minds roll, our minds can take us into a very dark and ugly place. And I think that we need to be able to remove that layer of that that's the first thing that we go to. Like, just because I came to you and I told you something that I was going through, your feedback to me shouldn't automatically be that you're hating on me or you want to see something bad happen to me or you don't want me to have the best. I don't know where that came from or why we do that, but I'm human and I also have that. And every time that I go through that, I have to then remember that that's a lens that was built. And I have to remove that. And I have to know that if I can find it in you, some part of me trusted that it was okay. And if that part of me trusted that it's okay, then I need to also entrust that the feedback that you're giving me is not ill mannered or ill intended and that it's not coming from a malicious, evil place. Because if that was the case, I should have never came to you to begin with. And so we always have that lens that comes on, like, because we don't hear what we want to hear or how it is that we want to hear it, automatically you're hating or you want something ill for me or you don't want to see me thrive and do the best. And I'm not saying that there's people out here that are like that, but we need to go ahead and give everybody the benefit of the doubt each time first. Filter through that, and then when you figure out that that wasn't the case, then you go and you handle it however you choose to handle it. But I think that we need to be able to give ourselves, along with other people, that grace to say, like, wait a minute. If I was willing to open my mouth to give this person this information, I also have to entrust of what it is that they're seeing about me that I don't see.
Yes.
Would you say, I say we're in a very hard position. Um, Life has lifed in the sense of even testing our ability as women, empowering women, because that's what our business is called. Earlier on, I know there's some situations that we probably would have handled differently or things that we would have done as business owners differently, from where we were last year to where we are today. You may even hear some people out here in the streets say, damn, women in power ain't empowering nobody. But the reality of it is that everybody is in a different place, right? And we try to help people best we can. And sometimes, unfortunately, we as human beings have made mistakes and we have made flawed mistakes, but we grow and we elevate. And from each experience, we learn something. And so I feel when I think about empowering women, I think about, again, receiving grace, also in the sense of being, human, right? Because I feel people sometimes expect for, because you run this company and because it's named this, that 100% how to just empower women all day, every day. And sometimes in empowering women, we will make mistakes because guess what? We're human beings and we're prone to be human and make mistakes, but we will learn from them. And what better way of learning from them than together? Or even tell me, I'm so blunt, y'all. And it sometimes has been a fault to the way I say things to people. And it's not, and I've gotten better. It's not to even hurt people, but like sometimes people can take what I say and be like, dang, she was kind of harsh with how she said that. And I don't mean any harm. I just I've gotten a lot better. I'm gonna say over the last year, I think I've gotten a lot better. I don't do that really anymore. But when I notice that I'm doing it, I try to, that's growth. I try to make changes. I try to redirect my way of thinking because we're not always right. As women, as business owners, whatever, we're not always right. We are learning just like everybody else is learning. And again, life's us. I could be going through something major. And this is what I want women to understand too. Just because I'm going through something, don't stay away from me and don't share with me what it is that you're going through because you feel like you're overwhelming me or overwhelming Devin or overwhelming Davina. That's not, we want to know what people are going through. We want to be able to help people get through whatever their issues are. You're not bombarding any of us. You're not overwhelming any of us. Come to the support groups. That's what they're there for. Join the prayer lines. That's what they're there for. Night prayer line. Start a prayer line at night if you want to. I'm sure somebody did one yesterday. I seen 5 people jump on. So I mean, it's people are there to help and assist and get you to where it is that you need to be. But we definitely, when we're empowering one another, we need to give room for mistakes and error, trial and error. And we need to also understand that in an imperfect world, people who even have a business name, Women Empowered, will make mistakes. And just we ask for grace in that area because we're still growing and we're still learning as women as well.
And
And
we
that's
will
the most
always be growing.
humblest I can say it.
We will always be growing and we will always be learning. We'll never know everything. We'll never always ever be grown to where we don't have any more room for growth. I can say though, 100% communicating, like us as women need to learn how to communicate. So you may come off and say something that might be rough and raw, and I might not like it. But then I, as a human, as another woman, need to be able to pull you aside, not to throw you out under the bus in front of whoever, whatever, and however, and be combative about it. But hey, El, I didn't like how you said that to me. Like, and this made me feel a type of way. And to be able to see what the response is. And we should be able to do that in each and every room with whomever. We need to learn how to better communicate with one another and know that just because it might have seemed that way because we were all born in different households and raised in different environments and our backgrounds and the traumas that we've been through and everything else, that we all have this armor on. And so I have to understand that I walk around with my armor on. So why wouldn't I assume that you also have on your armor? And so if I want you to give me grace because I'm carrying around all of my armor, why can't you give me the same? Like, and so we should be able to communicate. And part of communicating is for me to tell you how it is that I want you to handle and deal with me. Just like we do our men. Like if we can tell the man that we brought home, I want you to love me and handle me in this particular way. Why as a woman you can't tell me the same?
We're so this with one another. We'll give a man grace 20 times over what we will give our sister. We will
1,000
allow a thousand
One
times
time.
over. We will
One,
allow a man to mistreat, misuse, hurt, apologize even,
you
come
got one
back.
side with me. I'm cutting you off.
Right. But a woman, she got to go. I'm cutting her off. I ain't never talking to her again. And the cutoff game be so strong with each other.
We need
But
to stop that.
we do. We
We
really
need
need
to
to stop
stop.
that. I'm so over it. I will be honest. We do need to stop that as a whole because what gives either situation what's the difference? I mean, we're not sleeping with you. That's probably the biggest difference. We still love you. We still, there are people that aren't speaking to me right now today because they don't like something I said. That's on them. Because I don't mean it like that. Let me
No, it's the
clear
same.
that up. See how I said that? Let me
It's
let
the
me let
same
me
though.
let me explain what I mean by that's on them. Because I am willing and will be always willing to take the initiative to do what it is that I need to do.
Right.
But you as another woman, you're gonna have either what is it, that spirit to just be distant or do whatever you want to do. I'm always gonna support you, love you from a distance. I'll tell you I love you still. To this day, I had lunch with somebody 2 weeks ago that I haven't spoke to in 5 years and was able to have lunch with that person, realized that we said what it was that we needed to say and part ways and probably may not ever speak again. But I was able to say, I love you. And I was able to say all is forgiven. And we were able to move past that. Sometimes we don't always even need reconnection. Sometimes we just need to be able to, again, empower one another in a sense of saying, we don't have this negative stigma over our heads. We are not walking around with people not liking us or us not liking people for whatever reason, because we are women who strive to be empowered and empower one another. I would love for us all to get in that space. That's why we have the events. That's why we're doing all the things that we're doing to try to elevate that. Stop staying away from us, that type of thing. There are women that probably aren't even coming to the events because they're scared of connecting with other women. We ain't got to be like that. Again, back to the topic, we got it, y'all, but we got to get it together. Got to have it with one another.
So I'll be the first to say for the rest of 2024, We need to go ahead and we need to gain all of the tools. In 2025, we all, as a collective, every woman that is watching this, that is on this, we all in a whole. 2025 need to be able to remove that negative light and always find the positive light, and to understand that it's not always somebody is trying to do something malicious or ill intended to you, and to be able to own your own. And I'll be the first to say, if I ever said anything that you took the wrong way or rubbed you the wrong way, made you feel a type of way, I'm sorry. Was never my intent. All I want to strive for is peace. I want to be able to have peace and happiness. I want to be able to smile, and I want to be able to see you smile. I want to know that you are okay because I'm trying to be okay. And I'm not going to be okay if everybody else around me is drowned in. That's not how the world works. I wasn't the only person on this earth. I know that we as humans need each other to be able to thrive, to be able to grow. And it's our time. It is our time to shine. Women are the biggest threat in this world because we are the strongest creatures in this earth. And it's time for us to get together and get our act together and start showing everyone how powerful we actually are. We have periods every month that nobody gives a dang about. Put a pad on and keep it moving. We birth a baby, push it out, get back to work, keep it moving. We got to cook, we got to clean, we got to take care of these children. We still got to work a full-time job, pay half of the bills, and do everything else that everybody else does. And I'm not saying that to discredit our men, because they also do their fair shares. But I'm saying this as to be able to have a period every month and have to still just get up and push through should let you know you are a powerful creature.
I agree. I want to read some of the comments because we have some people watching and commenting. Mama Cheryl, blessings, ladies. Sherry, and if I'm butchering y'all names, I apologize. Good evening, lady. She said, "Amen. All in His timing." That part, trusting. Trauma mom, hi from Memphis. Hey, girl.
Oh,
Thank you
Memphis,
for
what's up?
joining.
Hi.
Bobby
Yes.
Smith said, "You can't help the ones who don't really want it." I agree. And that is one thing. I mean, some people aren't ready for change. Some people
I'm gonna
aren't.
devil advocate that.
You
We
always,
know.
That's
Come
that's
on.
that's a person with armor.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
yes,
their
you
armor's
can
up.
help that person. That
you
is a person that
could.
you have to peel back that onion, and it's not because they don't want help, and it's not because they're not helpable. It's because they're not used to it. They might not even be ready for it because they might not know what it looks like. And so
True.
if we don't know what it looks like and it feels like fear, then you're going to, as an individual, feel as if you can't help me and I don't want to be helped. But truly, everyone wants to be helped. Nobody wants to be in a dark, lonely place.
I
Nobody
think
wants to be
sometimes it
locked
And
does.
away.
that's why you're our human resources manager.
It does take at least that first step for a person, though, because if they're not coming to us for the help,
It
how are
does,
we
but
able to help?
but if you don't have the skills to be able to come to get that,
How would we
and
know? How would we know to help them then?
because everybody wants to be helped, everybody wants to be loved,
Hey, you need help.
every,
You need help.
everybody wants to be able to have a friend, a
That's true.
partner,
I agree.
and so there is no such thing as a person does not want to be helped in my eyes, and that's just my personal opinion. Everybody else might have their own opinion, but my personal opinion is sometimes when we get in such a place, another individual or even ourselves
Mm-hmm.
can get us locked away into this space and this place to where we feel like we're unworthy, to where
I
we
agree.
feel like we're undeserving. And in that moment, you need a sister to be able to pull you out of that. The hell is you
Yeah.
doing? Get
I'm
up.
gonna say I agree with that. I've had people tell me that they stay away from me because they feel like I'm gonna make them unlock potentials that they don't know they're not ready to unlock. I've
Mm-hmm.
literally had people say stuff in the sense of like they stay away from me because they fear that I'm gonna help them elevate past the level they're not ready to pass up yet, or
And that'd
leave
be scary.
relationships that they're not ready to leave yet, or
Yeah.
walk away from. And I'll be like, I don't be meaning anything by it. That's just But you're right, Davina. I that's why you are a human resources person. Show is.
Let me finish
More
the count.
comments?
Hey, ladies, I'm new here. This is Sammy. Sammy, she said, I'm new here. Looking forward to your empowering messages. Hey, Sammy.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
And Mama Cheryl said, I can truly say that Women Empowered MN has been a blessing to me and my family. It is definitely a place of safety, love, compassion, and truth. A true sisterhood, and I believe and know that the steps ordered are that of God. It is a seed planting platform and is being led and built for the kingdom of God by God.
Amen.
Amen to
Love
that.
you. Thank you.
She said, "You
You know.
speaking, Davina."
Yes, you are, because you can't. You're right. Everybody wants to be. I am in agreement with that. That's where that "you got this" comes from. Yep. Ebony
Yep,
says
yep, you
you
can
can.
Yeah.
only help
Yep.
a person when they're ready, and that. So I think
Hey,
it's
Eb.
it's a
You can
two-edged
help a
sword,
person
right?
get ready.
Yeah, exactly.
It,
But I
it
think
it's not because yes, you cannot help a person until they're ready, but you can help a person get ready.
true.
You can help a person. That's like saying that I'm here negative and I can't see the light
Mhm.
and I just want to lay here and just do nothing but isolate and die.
Yeah,
Another sister can help me feel what it is that I'm not currently feeling,
true.
to help me see what it is that I can't see. And that's why we need each other so bad
Mhm.
because a lot of times we can't see certain things that other people can see. And we might be feeling a type of way like, I'm not going to lie. I was just in a place, you two know this, to where I was feeling unworthy and
Mhm.
not enough, which started to bring me down a very dark road. And I needed for everybody around me to let me know that, girl, what are you talking about? Like, you're worthy. And I said, it is crazy how one individual can walk into your life and steal all of that shine out of you in such a little time and make you feel like you're not worthy enough. To where I woke up one day and I said, how am I going to give somebody else this much power when the Lord woke me up this morning? He already let me know that I was worthy. But for just a split second there, I have forgot about my faith. And the only person that I have to make known that I love, I cherish, and I believe in is the Lord before myself. But had I not had my sisters, had I not had the support that I have, I could have just continued to go straight down that rabbit hole and not want any help. And one on the outside would be like, she's not ready for help because am I ready to walk away from that situation? No, I'm still dealing with that situation, but I'm just dealing with that situation in a whole different manner now because I know that I'm worthy. I know that I'm strong enough. I know who I am. And so now instead of me trying to convince that person of who I am, I'm trying to go ahead and work on myself to show because I can show you better than I can tell you. And in that mix, I'm getting strong enough and I'm starting to see all of the stripes and all of the other things that don't sit in a line with me of why it was that God was trying to tell me that that wasn't my person to begin with anyhow. So I'm going to keep dealing with that person. But in the end, I'm a candle. Once I burn out, you can't relight me. So
Mhm.
that's my get back is you're going to see me shine for somebody else, somewhere else.
Deuces. But no, Ebony. It's so. I wanted to say I definitely agree with you, Davina. What you're saying, I get what Ebony is saying as well. As far as you do have to be ready to receive the help.
Yes.
I think sometimes because I know of people who you could try to help them till your face turns blue, and until they are ready, you are wasting your time. And I can definitely agree with that because it's hurtful sometimes, especially with family members. It could be drugs, it could be abusive relationships, it could be a number of things, right? Where you have tried to help people and it just does not work because they don't want the help. So I can definitely agree with that. There is the two sides to things. They do have to be ready to receive it. Mama Cheryl said, "Come on." That is what is called the body of Christ. We all have something someone needs and can use the fingers. Use the fingers are no good without the hands. I know that's right. Tara
Yes.
said, "Hi, ladies." Karen
Hi.
said, "Hey, everyone.
Hi,
Hey.
Tara. Hi, Karen. Hi, everybody.
Hi, y'all. Thank you for watching, everybody. I think this is good. This is good. I like how this is
Hmm.
flowing.
That's
Um,
really good. That's why I was
I
like,
want to
let's
I
just
want
do
to
this.
add one thing though,
Go ahead.
that we do have the 5 stages of change, and I do agree that until a person is ready, they're not going to intake what it is that you're trying to give them. But I don't think that that person needs to just be fully cut out. I think that it's kind of like if you were to adopt a child that was abused. That child's not ready for your love and does not know how to receive your love, or may not be. And if you stay fast and continuously show repetitive that I love you and I'm here and you're safe and you can trust me, pretty soon that person will be ready to be able to intake what it is that you're trying to give. So many of us don't trust, and that is the number one thing, is we don't trust. And so when you don't trust, and you as a sister that comes into my life and you say, oh, Davina's not ready, and you walk away, you just showed me that that was my reason why I couldn't trust you. But if you stayed fast with me, in the end, I'm not going to have no other reason but to trust you and to know she cares, because if she didn't, she would have been gone like everybody else. So I'm not saying that you need to take on what it is that I'm going through as my sister, but also don't just give up on me and leave me.
Well, I wanna chime in on that because
Okay.
I think sometimes when you want to help a sister, right?
Mhm.
Because there are people who I haven't necessarily cut anyone out of my life. My door is always open to anyone. However, when I feel like you taking on someone else's issues is beyond what you can deal with, I think there is a healthy balance to step back from certain things.
Yes.
Um, I've never been the type to, see someone and be confrontational with a person. Not at this age. I'll be 40 next year. There's no point in that. But as far as me having the same um, open door policy, it might not be the same as it used to be, because I choose my own mental peace and sanity. So it's
Absolutely.
not saying that I'm not here to help anyone. Absolutely not. That's my calling. I feel like I'm here as a vessel to be able to help other ladies go through what I went through or things that I've never experienced and just be that person. But I feel like it is a healthy balance as well to say, I can't take on all of what you're trying to get me to take on at this moment, and stepping back. So I think some people might misconstrue that as you leaving a person as well. But it's not that. Sometimes you do have to step back for a person to really say, okay, maybe I do need to change this. This person has said this over and over and over again, but I haven't changed it. Maybe I do need to actually change something about myself. Um, and it doesn't mean that person's not going to be there for you, but I think sometimes people will see that and be like, well, she's left me hanging before, and how is she empowering people and she can't even still be around this and do this. And there are certain things that people have to choose their self first. And I wanted to say that because it could be anybody who's watching my podcast who is like, well, I don't see you with X, Y, and Z no more. It's not that I did anything or I pushed this person away. It's
Right.
because they may need that space. My door is still here. I still got the
Exactly.
same address. People know where I'm at. I've been here 3.5 years. I've never turned anyone away. But when you come here, just make sure the energy is,
The
you
same.
know, the same. Don't
Mhm.
bring something here that I don't deal with anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you can't put burdens on people and then expect them to still be there carrying all of your baggage either, you know.
And and
That's
I
not empowering.
and I agree with that. And I think that
It's
that
not.
is why it is so important why we're doing what it is that we're doing.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Because it's not your job, it's not Eb's job, it's all of our jobs.
Mhm.
As women, it's every last one of our jobs to make sure that we're all good,
Yes.
not just one person. So it shouldn't just lay at one of our doors.
Right.
And no, um, part of growing and part of being human and part of us being able to communicate is for me to properly say, you know what, Devin, like, you've been real negative, girl, and
Mm-hmm.
I can't deal with that right now because I got my own stuff I have to deal with. And for you to be able to understand that, and you might even get upset and angry, like, let's just go ahead and say it. Like, you and I have even in real life bumped heads before and been like, it is what it is. But after we walked away, we realized, like,
Yeah.
that's not what it was.
No.
I don't
It,
think me and you have done that yet, Davina.
we haven't.
We
Now, but
have
me
not.
and haven't actually lived together. And so
No,
I
me and
remember
Devin had
telling
a me and
her, like,
Devin had a little minute, but Devin was like, "You don't get to tell me what I can't tell you as
Davina
my
kicked me
cousin
out.
slash friend. You don't get to tell me how I could tell you something." I was
Davina kicked me out.
like,
I,
Like
"Right,
literally.
I came home and I told Devin,
She kicked me
me
out.
as
yeah,
your
I know." Woo. That's why I
me
said
as
we.
your friend,
I
I
needed
cannot
that
sit
though.
here and watch you
I
do
needed it.
nothing with your life. So you are either going back to school or you're getting a job or you got to get the heck out.
Yep.
You're
And
going
I
to do
went
Love
back to
it.
something.
school, but I did. I went back to school, but it still was like she seen me, and this is now, mind you, what, 15 years ago? So
Well,
don't think this is something like recently. Like
yeah,
this is something in the midst of when I was going through everything I went through after abusive relationship, in the middle of abusive relationship, like life
yeah.
be lifing, and we
Life
have
can be
been
life.
Exactly.
through real
And
situations.
she when she got out of that though, she was beat down
Yeah.
and she wanted to go ahead and she wanted to just soak in her sorrow. And
Hmm.
it's like, no, I can't sit here and watch you fade away.
Yeah.
If I
That's
say
right.
that I love you and you're my friend, how much
Hmm.
of a friend am I if I watch you just sit here and fade away? Get
Mm.
up.
Good question. Real question. There's
Get
a
up.
comment
Yeah.
you gotta read.
It's
Oh
time to do
yes, I'm
something.
sorry. Yeah, Karen said this is true. We have two girls who are truly grateful for the village we built, and one who fights us and doesn't fully accept due to her trauma from the abusive environment and chooses pain instead. And that is hard. That
Yeah,
is hard. But you know,
very
we
hard.
know your heart,
I got
Karen.
something to say about that.
Oh, go ahead.
So let me make sure I'm reading this. We have two girls who are truly grateful for the village
One is
we've built. So
two.
this is Women Empowers Village. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm sure there's more. And here's all what I can say. I love everybody. Devin loves everybody. Veronica, Davina, you know, come on back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, give us the opportunity if you felt some type of, you know what I mean? Because we are growing. That's exactly what I stated early on. We have grown so much mentally
Hmm.
in the last year and a half, or just as a business, we are just getting started. We were just learning what this all was about, and we're still going to be learning, you
Ooh,
know. But
can I
again,
say
we're here
something?
to empower each other.
Can I say
So,
something?
yeah,
I
go
do
ahead, babe.
also want to say there are going to be people who don't like us.
Yeah, I know.
And it's
But
I
okay.
those
know.
people,
It,
like,
We're okay with that. Like we are not going to be able to please everyone, and
but
that's one
no,
thing
even
I
for
want to
those
say.
people, like, at least state what it is that you don't like and why it is that you don't like so we can talk about it.
You're
Because I
right.
want to talk about it.
Yeah.
and
I do.
I'm like, come back.
Want to argue about it. I want to talk about it.
Look, I'm like,
Okay.
come back. What they say? See, I'm not even gonna say come on back to death row because that's what I wanted to say. But I'm like, just come on
No,
back
ain't no
because
death
I
row.
I love everyone, and
We am in. Come on back to we am
come
in.
on back
if
to
you had a
women.
moment
Yeah,
that was negative or made you
Yeah.
feel a type of way, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Because sometimes people can't take the tough love either, and I think there are times when that's needed, right? Everybody's not going to sugarcoat it and be like, "Ooh, girl, that's going to be okay." Girl, you messing up. You need to change that. It could be
But
something
there's
that
sometimes,
you are specifically doing that we see that you don't see. And sometimes
right.
you got to
and
be
and
told
or vice versa though, Dev. There might be a time where I'm just giving you too much, and you just need to tell me, like, girl, you
that
doing too
too.
much.
That
Yeah,
I
very
didn't need
true.
all that from you.
that's true.
I
That is
will say that I know for a fact that I have made amends with almost everybody. that has had an issue regarding women empowered with me, which
Yeah.
hasn't been many people, but or us in general. I have that's my job. Part of my job too is to make sure that we're operating effectively as a business, that our operations are actively functioning, and that we're doing the right thing. And so I have no regrets. I have love for everyone, and I know we all do. And I just wish that when you're hurting and you're in pain, you would allow us to, basically hug you, love you, and embrace you through that pain, because again, we all need each other. There's no love lost over on this end. So,
And sometimes we need to agree to disagree. We're not always going to necessarily see eye to eye about every situation. And that's
right,
fine. That is fine. That's the way the world works. You need both sides of a coin
right.
for it to be a whole. So don't ever feel like if there is something or someone, that offended you or something that just didn't rub you the right way, that you can't speak that and that we can't move forward from that. So Michelle said it's called seasons. Sometimes the season is over for certain people, reasons, etc. Which I agree with that. Sometimes, seasons are way past due for that person to no longer be in your circle, and you can kind of try to stretch it, and it seems like I'm stretching this.
Yes.
Sometimes you do got to let certain things go. She said it's called. Oh, she said that twice. Michelle's clapping.
That one was different.
Oh,
It's called seasons. Sometimes the seasons ends with people and or circumstances.
yeah. Oh,
Agreed.
yeah. Yep.
Then I think in that case that it's okay to say that I have outgrown you.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
okay, because you know what? We're all on different tiers in life, and it is okay to outgrow someone. Just
It
because
doesn't have to come with strife or beef, though.
it doesn't have to come with any ill intent or maliciousness
Exactly.
or any enviness either. Like, if Devin outgrows me today, I should be applauding her. Like, I'll be right there with you. That
Or I
means that
love you.
I need to be doing some things in my life to elevate where you're at. Because not
Or the
everybody
I
can
love
go.
yous, right? Where it's the I
Right.
love you. What if I just don't want to hang out with you anymore? I'm entitled
Right.
to that. I'm entitled to not wanting to hang out with you anymore. It doesn't necessarily mean you've done anything. Doesn't
Exactly.
necessarily mean any love is lost. I just don't have the desire to hang out with you anymore, and that should be okay. And I know that we have feelings, and feelings get involved and things like that. I'm not saying that's not realistic, that will happen where people won't get upset or whatever. But what I am saying is it is okay. We are, in order to empower one another, we have to accept, like Miss Cheryl said, there's seasons, right? There's a season. And sometimes certain people realize that their season with you is up before you even realize that the season with you is up. And it's okay. It may hurt a little bit, it may sting, but
It shouldn't.
it,
It shouldn't. I
it
should be
but it
able
but
to
it does though for some people, because some people,
because it feels like rejection, and it feels like a loss.
exactly.
That's
And
exactly what
Exactly.
it is.
it shouldn't feel never like a loss or rejection. We should be able to, as women,
We should.
I should be able to come and part ways with you, Eb. You should be able to say, Davina, I've outgrown you. And I should be able to say, girl, and I'm proud of you, and give you a hug and tell you, I'm gonna see you again.
Yeah.
I wish you would.
I'm gonna see you again.
I wish you would play
That
with
just
me.
means I gotta go home and I gotta do some soul searching, and I gotta do some arranging and some changing
Yeah.
to be able to
No.
see you again.
I
If
feel
I,
it.
I agree with
you
that.
outgrew me,
I have a god sister, my god sister. I haven't spoke to my god sister in about 6 or 7 years. We came up together. I've been in her life since she was born. I still love her, but
we need to
I
look at
haven't
it.
spoke to her in 7 years.
We need to
Wished
look
her a
at
happy birthday.
life as a job.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
And if you've outgrown me, that means you got promoted.
You've been promoted.
Kudos. I'll be right there, girl. I'm gonna get my promotion in a couple months. Let me get my stuff together. I'll be right there. Like,
Facts. Fair.
you got promoted, and I should be able to go ahead and congratulate you.
I can admit though, I think I myself need to have those conversations like Eb said with all the people who maybe it's been an issue or whatever the case may be. I don't know if I want to have those conversations.
Why? Why?
I don't know. I'm big on not really having those real like uncomfortable conversations, if
It
that makes
shouldn't be
sense.
uncomfortable.
Let me say this why. Let me say why. Because, okay, if it's in the heat of the moment and a conversation happens, okay, I'm okay with having it at that point. But as far as like me reaching out to people, even maybe somebody who hurt me in my past, maybe someone who I've hurt, maybe, whatever the case may be, to start that, it's like, hey, it's really making it real, if that makes sense, right? And I don't know if I personally am ready for that journey, that level of the journey, if that makes sense. Like, I'm still in my process of going through everything I went through, right? But as far as me making these things real and acknowledging it, knowing I was wrong or saying that they were wrong, and then having that real conversation again, you're reopening these wounds, you're doing all these things. I'm not necessarily ready for all of those conversations. I know they're needed. I know they're needed, but am I ready for them? No.
So
That's fair for being honest about it.
it's fair that you're being honest about it, but I'm gonna tell you this, just like we tell any other woman that's on here. You have unnecessary weight and baggage that you're hanging on to for no apparent reason.
I am. I know I am.
For
I know I am.
for no apparent reason other than fear of yourself.
Yeah. I know I am. And that's the biggest part of my journey right now, that I have to, and of course I want to complete this before my 40th, right? I don't want to go into a new, chapter of life with all of this baggage. Will I be able to have all these conversations before my 40th? Hopefully. Is it
Maybe not,
realistic?
but be able to be open to it is a whole different storm.
I'm open to it. Like I said, if it presents itself, like if somebody comes and knocks at my door today, clearly I'm gonna have to have the conversation. But as far as me like going out of my way to, like Eb has had, dinners and things like that, like I haven't been able to be adult enough, I guess I should say, to say, hey, I know
Well,
I haven't talked to you, and there's this elephant in the room. Let's meet up.
give yourself some grace on that. I would say that if you pass a person that you know that you no longer are talking to and may have ended in a wrong way, then I feel like you pass that person for a reason and everything happens for a reason. And so maybe it was time for you to address that. If you see somebody maybe on social media that also is the same, then address it. But I don't think that you need to go and start filtering through, all of this stuff to seek out, because everything happens for a reason. So when it's time, you're going to know it's time. Just don't be blind to the signs of the time.
That's true. That's true.
I'm the opposite. I'll go seek you out. But this particular person that I had dinner with, I didn't seek them out. I literally turned around and they were in my face. And it was just like, first thing came out of my mouth was, why did you ghost me
Yeah.
5 years ago? What happened? And then once we met, I was able to get their reason, and I was able to get why this person jumped out of my wedding and dropped out of my wedding. And I was able to get the closure that I needed. And I was able to say, I love you. And I was able to put the ball back in that person's court to say, if you want to start a friendship, you have to be able to start a friendship outside of our husbands, but you have to be able to start that friendship. And I haven't heard from her, and she hasn't heard from me. And I'm fine with that because I got my answers. I got my resolve. I was able to sit down, have a meal, and I was able to hold and hug that person and to tell that person how I felt, which is really what I've been asking God to let me do the whole time. I have made amends and tried to apologize to people that are not receptive of it. And that is fine by me because guess what? God knows my heart condition and knows that my heart was in the right place. I've already made that situation good. It's already handled on my end. How they receive it, now that's something totally different. I've already covered mine. So again, empowering women doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to be reciprocated back to you appropriately. You just make sure that you continue to be an empowering woman through it all, no matter what.
Because all we have is control over ourselves, how we act, how we react, and how we respond to things.
That's right.
People, places. And as long as we only focus, and that, I think that there is the key to everything. We are so busy focused on everything other than ourselves.
Yes.
And what it is that we are doing, that I'm sitting here in my house looking over my fence in the ebony garden talking about that girl need to do this when I haven't even paid attention in my own dang garden.
That's absolutely true. Yep.
And so I need to make sure that my garden is straight and I continue to water it and I continue to do what I need to do in my garden instead of looking over into your garden trying to figure out what you need to do.
Yeah.
Water yours. Your grass is looking kind of brown.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest issue, right? Because we always have been so focused on others. When
Yes.
we do start to just focus on ourselves, that's when people
Yes.
think it's beef or we're ghosting them or you don't want to be that friend. And it's like, hey, I'm dealing with my grass right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
my grass is brown and I need it back to be green. It's not that I don't want to
Ain't
help
got no
you. It's
vegetables.
not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't want to be here for you, but I need a little more attention to my brown grass.
And or to be able to say, I need you to stop looking over my dang fence trying to pay attention to my garden like
That's
focus
right.
on
To
your
be able to
own.
have them uncomfortable conversations and say, hey,
Get up out my
what you
garden.
get exactly. And I'm
Yeah.
not putting up an extra fence. You just gonna get up out of it.
Get up
Yeah.
out my garden.
Ebony said,
Yes.
because our gifts are for others. That is right. They
They are.
definitely are.
Absolutely.
They definitely are.
I just seen
Making
something on
amends. You
Facebook
can
that
make
said that.
amends. You can make amends as a woman. We make so many amends again with our romantic partners and our romantic relationships. Man, we got to do better with one another. We got to be more accepting. We've got to be less afraid of each other. We're so scared of each other. We're so scared that, oh my God, I don't know if I want to go and be around these women because I don't know, that one might be looking at me funny or this one might be thinking that I'm this, that, and the other. We have to break that chain of uncomfortability and insecurities that we have when it comes to each other.
Hmm. And
So
then
if
if
you
you
see
do
me,
get And then if you do get some criticism from somebody who is your friend, I feel like that's another thing. If you have someone who is close enough to you to know your business, excuse me, to know your business, right? The fact that they know your business and they're commenting on it. Either they need to be in your life and give you that, and you need to receive it, or this person is too close to you and knows your business for the wrong reasons, right? And I think that's that's one thing we need to realize, like, who do we really have in our circle? Do we have people we can trust? If you don't, that's when you have to like kind of filter through, okay, who is really around me? Am I really going to a reliable source? Is this someone I can actually get advice from? Michelle said that part, we were responsible for our own actions, reactions, and responses. She also said we shouldn't compare ourselves with one another. We should not. But unfortunately,
we do.
a lot of people do that. And
And
I've been,
whoever thought of social media,
So
they
we need
added
to
to
just be
that.
walking around telling each other, you ain't got no business. Like,
ooh, Angela said, what's a definition of a friend? Who wants to go first?
Shoot,
Woo,
me. What you thought? Me?
go ahead.
No, I said I'm the definition of a friend. What do you mean?
who is you?
No,
Who is
someone
you?
who has your best interest at heart, someone who is caring, someone who is reliable, someone who checks on you, someone who, you know, even in years of not speaking to you, they find their way back to you. Someone that just shows genuine love, concern, and care for you, and it's genuine. It comes from a genuine place, you know. You can feel that. Most of us can feel that energy when it's coming from a good place. So that's what I think. Next.
Someone that's not afraid to tell you what it is. Because that is the one thing that we all don't want is somebody to tell you how it is, but truly need to know. If I go outside and I'm looking crazy, I need that friend to tell me, girl, no, go on and fix that. Like let's get it together because you looking crazy. Um, Somebody to be able to keep it real with you and be honest. Honesty is number one.
Yes.
Like, if I look messed up, tell me I look messed up. Don't allow me to go out here and everybody laughing at me. And here I
Right.
thought I looked good, and the whole time you knew that I didn't look good. Like, be my friend. Be the person that you want me to be for you. Be that person for me. They say treat others how you want to be treated, but we have not even started to treat other people how we want to be treated. Because I ain't never said I wanted anybody to be shitty to me, misuse me,
Mm.
abuse me, and stomp all over my feelings and my emotions. And I know I ain't out here doing that to others, so I don't know why people be thinking that it's okay to do it to you. And so to be able to call it what it is, and for us to be able to tell the next person how it is that you want to be reciprocated as well, how you want
Yes.
to be handled, for you to be able to be vulnerable in that moment with another person and be able to say, you know what? I am like a champagne glass. I am very fragile and handle me with care.
Yes.
Like, if you can't, then that's on you. But at least now I was a friend enough to tell you. So then when you start to mishandle me, it wasn't on me because I didn't tell you that I was made of steel and throw me around and stomp on me. I said, handle me with care. And then when you're not handling me with care, for me to be able to communicate that, like, hey, Devin, like, you out here doing the Ace Ventura, you can just throwing the box around. Like, I said it was
Silly.
a wine glass. Like, get it together. Like, for us to hold one another accountable.
Yes. Accountability.
Yes, all of the above. Like, we need to just be real. We need to be accountable. We
Mm-hmm.
need to be able to self reflect,
Mm-hmm.
the whole nine. That's what a friend is, somebody that's willing to sit down and go through that storm with you and know that that will pass.
To me, a friend is someone you could just be yourself with, right?
Mhm.
This person knows all the ugly ins and outs, and they don't treat you any differently. Those deepest, darkest secrets, they don't hold them against you. They don't use those as leverage later on, for their own gain. I feel like a friend is somebody who you might not see them for 10 years, but when you see them, you pick right back up as if there was no drop in a beat of nothing. That's a friend. And I think sometimes it's we call people friends very loosely, right? Everybody's a friend. This is my friend. No, my friend. But are they really a friend? Like, are you being friendly? That's what somebody asked me one time. Are your friends being friendly? If you're not being friendly, how are you a friend? And I think, like Davina said, treat others how you want to be treated. Um, you have to love people. Eb said it best. You give all these romantic partners all these chances, but you don't give your friends the benefit of the doubt, and cut them off. And I think a lot of times as women, we're kind of just like, if she was my friend, she would never do that, and nope, she really hating on me, and she doing this and she doing that, but she could be
Dude,
hurt.
if he was your man, he wouldn't do that. If he was your man, he wouldn't be hating on you. If he was your man, he wouldn't.
Exactly.
Come on, man. We got to change that lingo. Put that
Yep,
lingo the
we gotta
same. Put it
change it.
stamp that the
Not
same way
change that
because it's
lingo.
the
We
same.
need to remove that
We
lens.
need to
Hey,
remove
remove
that.
it.
We
Yeah,
need to
no
remove that
faking.
lens.
Yes,
We need to
seriously.
look at that lens as it's a dark lens.
Hmm.
Yep.
Take your sunglasses off because it's nighttime and
Hmm.
we don't need them right now. Like, let's remove that altogether. Like,
You know how
Get rid
strong
of
we
it.
could be as a unit of women
Powerful.
if we all literally came together. Do you know how strong we would be? We have
Powerful.
over 1,000 women in our group. Do you know how strong we could be if we literally
1,400 plus to be
if
exact.
we only bought from people in our group, if we only supported the businesses in our group, if we only referred each other to the people in our group, we would have a constant flow of income. But we
Yeah.
are not strong enough to do that yet. It's okay. We'll get there. We'll get
Yeah.
there. We're going to
No,
get down
agreed.
there. But
Agreed.
it's about everybody being able to say that. Like, I need my sisters.
we
My
are a race
sisters
on its
got me.
own.
We're going
We
to
are
do it, though. We're going to get
we
there.
we are truly a race on its own.
As the
And
topic says, we got it. We got
we
this. We're
and we
going to do
do.
it.
Mama Cheryl said a friend is someone who has the characteristics of God: integrity, character, respect, compassion, the fruits of the spirit. Yes.
There should be
Come
some
on
other
now.
ones in there too. that we missed, right? Some other comments I saw popping up that we
They
missed.
were just like saying me,
Oh, with
the
what's a
heart.
good friend?
Yep. Someone with integrity, champagne glass, no faking, and hearts. And
Nice.
Ebony said, I love it here. We love
We
that you
love
love
you
it.
too. We
We
can't wait
love
to
you
see you
too.
on
Yes.
Saturday, girl.
Yes. Saturday's gonna be popping. It is.
It's gonna be
Feel that.
amazing.
I feel that. I feel that. I know that. And yes, we love it. We love having you here. We love having you all here. We have actually gone over time because this topic has just been great.
We have.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess we should go into takeaways maybe.
Mhm. You
Well, let me
started.
say, the event Saturday is our in-person event, and Saturday,
Ticket sales in
December.
tonight.
Ticket sales and tonight. So if you have not purchased your ticket for Saturday's event, you can still buy it until midnight. So we will make sure to send the link out again if you have not seen it. I'll even attach it to this. If you say I haven't seen it, I'll put it on here so you don't have an excuse to say you don't know where it is. Get your ticket. There is no color that you have to wear, but we will be in pink. So if you would like to match us, you can wear pink if you would like, but it's not required. But I just wanted to say we will have a online event in December. It'll be a prayer board event. So all the ladies who are not in Minnesota and can't attend our in-person event, feel free to join us in December for our online event. We have posted about that. It is on our actual Facebook page as well, but we'll keep posting about that as well because that is something we want to try to connect with some new faces of people who are not in Minnesota. You know, all of our old heads, we appreciate y'all tuning in and joining us for everything, but we would like, some new people to join in. And this is specifically for people who are not in Minnesota, so we can connect with you, and you could be a part of the event as well. So
No, everybody can come.
everybody can come.
Yes.
No,
Yes,
everybody can
We
come.
encourage
it
everyone
is
to
a
come.
yes prayer vision board event. Yes, it's December 14th, right? Am I saying that right?
Yep. Yep. And we've got a December event that will be known about right away on Monday after Saturday's event. So something for December will be rolled out as well.
Yep.
So vendors can, if we're doing vendors, we'll know and we'll get all that out if you guys want to do that or come to the event as well. So
Yes. Oh, and let me add, December's event is a free event. We do just recommend that you a $5 donation, but you do have to actually register. So for December's event, you do have to click on the Eventbrite. You have to be registered so you can receive the link. If you don't have the link, you cannot tune in to the event. So
the prayer board event.
yes, the prayer board event. Prayer, and it's called Make a Vision. So if you are looking on our Eventbrite, that is the December event. It is a prayer vision board event. So we'll talk more about that, going forward. But I just wanted to put that out there because we do have some new people on in different states. So you will definitely be able to connect with us for that as well. Miss Cheryl said, ladies, this has been great. And of course, I'm proud of you and love you. We love you too. I pray God, God's continued blessings be upon each of you and your endeavors, and you all have a blessed night. Thank you, Mama Cheryl. We
Thank
love you.
you.
Angela said, what do I need to buy for the board? Oh, when you go to the actual, all of that is in there. We'll make sure we do a video to update y'all on what exactly you'll need, but you'll need, poster board, some old magazines.
And if you haven't made a board ever, you will get to make one Saturday. So you'll have some practice before you actually make a prayer board. Just so
Yes.
you know. Saturday there's going to be time for that. So
Yeah. And
Also,
Saturdays
we
is
have
not
a bunch of
prayer.
vendors.
Yeah, Saturday is going to be a bunch of vendors too. So if y'all didn't know that, we're going to have some good vendors, and we have a speaker on Saturday. So if you
we
did not
do.
know that, we have an amazing speaker that will be speaking on Saturday. Some good vendors. So like I said, you got till midnight to get your ticket. So if y'all have not done that, go get your ticket.
And it will be at Gather. And Gather has some really good food.
Yep. It's the old Billy's. So if anybody knows Billy's, that's what is called Gather now. That is where we will be at on Saturday. Angela said, I never have made one. Nikki
You
said, I
definitely
love.
will on Saturday, so you'll already be well experienced.
Yep. Nikki said, I love you all, and I am happy we have you all in my. I am happy we have you all in my life. Yeah, we love you too, and we happy
We are
you are
happy
here
we
with
have
us.
you.
Yes. Every time I see her, I'm just so happy to see her. Every single
Yeah.
time. But yes, we did go
I
far.
love seeing her too, and the blossoming and the growth. I love seeing everybody.
Everybody.
I love seeing everybody because, you guys have been rocking with us for quite a while, and so we're grateful,
We
Yes.
truly.
are truly.
All right.
Good night. God bless. Good night. Yeah. And thank you for tuning in. This was great. And we will have another topic next week. We love y'all. Have a good night.
Yep. Have a blessed night, ladies.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.